Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 415. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today we've got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
Nice.
How are you?
Doing pretty well. I can't complain.
Wonderful.
This week on the show, we have two exciting reviews for you with Fear Street Part 3, which is 1666, and we also have Pig, the new Nicolas Cage film. We'll also be going over some we're watching on the watch list and then going over this week's new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Please remember to review us on iTunes if you get a moment. That would be extremely helpful. One bit of housekeeping real quick. We're going to be recording this month Saved by the 90s as you're listening to this. So that should be in the can very soon. We are doing sci-fi thrillers, techno thrillers, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
There's a ton of those that we can pull from, so I imagine that this is going to be just part one of an ongoing series, because there's a lot of these movies that I want to cover. And so, yeah, I think that's going to be a multi-part series. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our reviews. I think that we'll kick it off with Fear Street, since that's where we left last week's episode. We talked about parts 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Part 3 is out, the final entry in the trilogy. This one takes place in 1666, and it explores the origins of Sarah Fear's curse, and the truths are finally revealed in this one. All the secrets come out.
Oh, they're digging it all up.
Just so many secrets and everything. So we had talked a little bit about our sort of hopes for this one last week, where we knew that the cast from the first two was coming back and they were portraying different characters. In this one, we knew that it was going to be sort of a folk horror theme. And one of the things that I said was, I wonder if they're going to go like really dark and serious with it, because typically folk horror is just extremely dour and like just grinds your emotions into the ground, and they pretty much did that with this, at least for the 1666 part, which I don't think it's a spoiler, but they go back to the 94 section for a nice chunk at the end of this one, which I was extremely thankful for. If they only like touched on the 94 part to like sort of cap things off, or do it as like an epilogue or something, I probably would have been a little bummed out, because indeed this one is like, just, I don't know, it's folk horror. It's definitely plays within the folk horror those tropes, and I'm like, just for me personally, I'm a little folk horrored out. Like, I'm just done with that genre for right now. Like, I kind of want, fun, campy horror again. And so I was very, like, I thought that what they did in this one was good. Don't get me wrong. I liked where they went with it, but I was super thankful that they did go back to the 90s for the end.
Yeah, which I did not know. I had no idea that was going to happen. And I, like you, it was very welcomed. I was very excited. Mostly because, one, we talked about it in the last show, is, I like the 94 cast. I like them. I want to be with those characters. And two, outside of what they did in terms of giving you all the information of the lore and how it was started and how it progressed and everything, like the actual proceedings of the 1666, I thought was just very basic, and just kind of just felt really uninspired in a lot of ways. And I was just like, wow, this is really flat.
Yeah,
to me.
I agree. And I think that the fact that they added that like 94 part 2 onto this, I think that that helps it so much, because up until that point, you're just like, all right, I mean, I see what's happening here. By the way, I predicted like that whole thing, like the curse and all of that stuff. I predicted it at the beginning of this one. Like I just had a feeling. I was like, oh, she's gonna, like, the two of them are gonna be in a relationship, and that's what's gonna cause like the whole witch thing and all of that.
Yeah, but I really like the. I mean, it's for me the witches are just. It's just a fascinating topic. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you really like reading about the history of it and everything. But I like how they took it further. Not only just the historical aspect of it, of you know, a dude gets possessed, and they can't simply write off like, oh, he probably invited the devil in, and
Mm-hmm.
calls up. No, it's got to be these young girls. It's got to be them. Got to kill these witches, and then to just take that, and then to have it build off of that to create this entire you know curse and this myth, and your entire town is ruined because of this witch. When in actuality, maybe it's not that.
Yeah.
So I did like that aspect of 1666. But what actually happens in 1666 is just not that engaging.
No, I agree. And but there were a couple shocking moments. The scene with the pastor I thought was
Yeah,
pretty crazy. And then, like, there were a number of folk horror tropes in here, like the stuff that was happening with the pigs, and, like, I mean, it was pretty. If you're familiar with folk horror, it was definitely playing within that realm.
hmm yeah,
I gotta say, I really liked where they went with it, with the big reveal and the twist, and then just the whole culminating moments when they went back to '94 and that whole big thing. They go back to the mall, which I loved.
hmm
I was really pleased with how they wrapped things up in this.
yeah. I don't think you know how excited and happy I was when the Fear Street 1994 Part Two came up.
That was
I was
awesome, by
just
the
like,
way. Huge props to whatever team or whoever decided to do an additional title card and throw that part two up there, because that was really exciting.
phenomenal.
And
It's just
the music selections in the part two were pretty great too. So
yeah. The second part of 1994 was pretty much what I wanted, in the sense that a majority of it takes place back at the mall, which, yes, thank you. All my killers are there, and you get like a the battle royale with them,
I loved it.
which
I
I
loved
just,
what they did to with that. I'm not going to give anything away, but how that all played out. Oh, and the fact they brought in super soakers into the mix. Come on.
yeah, yeah, B. Dalton.
Yeah.
It had everything that you wanted, that you
Yep.
could ask for, you know? To really, you get to see the origins of well, this is in the different one, but the only thing that really got me in 1666, I think, was the origin of the hand.
Mm-hmm.
That that fucking disgusting.
That was brutal. Yeah.
Just the sound of it and
Because you knew it was
everything.
going to happen at some point, but then
hmm
when it does, so I think that that's why they did it that way, because they knew that the viewer knows that that's going to happen, so they had to, like, amp it up, to make it shocking, because we expect it to happen. So they had to, like, ratchet it up to a higher
Yeah,
level to shock us, and it worked. I mean, I was like, oh, there's a lot of that going
yeah, and they put all their eggs in the sound basket
on.
because it sounded disgusting.
Yeah, yeah. Overall, I was really pleased with the series. I was a little, I don't know. I think I kept my expectations low, and I had a really great time with it. So I thought that they wrapped things up really nicely. I kind of hope that they work on another one. They could easily create another one. I hope Lee Janiak comes back for it, or I don't know, maybe get some other cool director to do another trilogy or something,
Yeah,
but just kind of keep it the same, because I think it really worked.
it worked for me too. Overall, I think there were some things that were a little bit disappointing for me,
Hmm.
but like you, I kept my expectations a little low, or in the sense that my not necessarily that they were low, but they were um,
Like tempered.
Yeah, they were like I didn't have huge aspirations for this thing. Like I just it looked like it could be a fun time in that kind of throwback way. And that's what I was hoping for. And I think for the most part, majority of it, it delivered on that.
Yeah, completely agree. I had some gripes here and there, but overall, I thought that yeah, it was pretty successful. So again, Fear Street is all three parts are on Netflix, so you can watch them right now. Transitioning from that to a movie that is not so fun
No, not fun
is
at all.
Pig. Now, this is directed by Michael Sarnowski, and I have a synopsis here. A truffle hunter who lives alone in the Oregonian wilderness must return to his past in Portland in search of his beloved foraging pig after she is kidnapped. Now, a lot of people are talking about Nicolas Cage's role in this, saying that this is potentially another Oscar for him. I would agree with that. I think that the thing about Nicolas Cage is he's always good. Like, he's never not good. It's just that the roles that he has are sometimes not good, or the movie or the script or whatever.
But even then,
I mean, he always gives 110%. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he cranks it out. And plus, he's in like 35 movies a year. So, I mean, the dude is just a machine, and he is a tremendous actor. And I think that I think he does deserve another Oscar. And I think that this could be it for him. I hope it is, because I think he does such an incredible job in this. Like, this is a really nuanced role for him. It's really funny because it's nuanced, but he also gets to act a little crazy sometimes with it. So
Yes.
I think it's almost a perfect role for him.
Which I think that works better in this situation where you let Cage out of the cage just once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
Not the whole movie, just once or twice. And really, for me, they really caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting that aspect of Cage to be in this movie. You know what I mean? Like in the opening, the beginning of this movie, you're like, okay, so this is like a subdued
Yeah.
Cage role. Okay, now I know what I'm expecting here. But then I still got the little bit unhinged Cage, which just made it even sweeter when that showed up.
I gotta say, I really loved this movie. This, like, for me, this was probably one of the best movies I've seen this year. There were so many aspects of it that I was just so enamored with. I thought it was, in a lot of ways, a devastating movie. Like, this is a movie that really affected me emotionally, which I wasn't expecting at all. In fact, I didn't know. I knew the basic premise, like the synopsis. I knew that's pretty much all I knew going into it. I did not see a trailer. I didn't really know anything about it, and I was kind of expecting it to be more like a John Wick type, like a revenge movie, where he's just barreling through people trying to find his truffle pig. I thought that it would be more serious, but that's kind of what I was expecting, and it's not that. It is definitely not that.
And I'm so happy that it's not that.
Same.
Because from the outset, when you're introduced to this guy and his pig, and if and it sounds like you were too, as I was, is you were kind of thinking this was going to be like a John Wick-esque type movie. So after that introduction, you're thinking, man, if they go that route, this is going to be dumb as hell. And they don't, and thank God. Because the route that they go is to me far far better. Where it ends up, some of the stuff along the way with the John Wick type, with this like underground
like food dealing.
Yeah. Which I do want to point that out because I did like this movie, but you have to admit this movie is silly as fuck. It is just, in some ways, it is dumb as hell. Mostly all that stuff. It's just really fucking weird.
It's bizarre. It's a very bizarre movie. But I took that as like an intentional thing. Like it's I think that it's self-aware. I think that it knows it's a little weird,
Yeah,
especially with the like underground food dealing, it's like cabal or whatever is happening in Portland with this the food stuff. And I think that yeah, I think that it just knows that it's a little off kilter.
yeah, and I think there is a part of him that's kind of like this. I'm hoping it's like a tongue in cheek kind of ribbing of that area, and how into things they can be.
Yeah, I mean certainly like I think that a good example of this is the scene in the restaurant when they go to that like really high end restaurant and they're presented with that like ridiculous meal.
Yeah,
And that whole sequence, that was my favorite sequence in the whole movie, where he just the chef sits down, and just for some context, like this guy on their journey to find this pig, they find out that this chef at this really high end exclusive fancy restaurant, he may know who took the pig. And so they get a reservation. Nicolas Cage is talking to the guy, and what he does, what he says to this guy, and like how he just like systematically breaks this man down into like his like it's like he's deconstructing him like all of those fucking deconstructed meals. It's like he deconstructs people's personalities and just breaks them down into their like simple ingredients. And he does that several times throughout the movie, and I freaking loved it. But my favorite was with this guy, how he just like reduced this man to like a sniveling little baby.
yeah, but the aspect of this that I really really like, and I find really interesting, is that he does that, but with the information that he's using, he's kind of just really showing this guy like, you know, this is who you wanted to be. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like he's using positive
Right?
information
Yeah,
in a way to kind of wreck the guy from the inside.
yeah, and that's the thing is that there's this little bit of like it's almost like a wholesome quality where.
Hmm.
And there's another scene that happens later, much later in the movie, when he makes this meal for someone who, and it like evokes all of these crazy memories and emotions and things. And it's like, it's not a negative thing. Like he sees that this person is flawed, like they're being blocked. And he's like, okay, I'm going to help them like become more in tune with themselves and like their aspirations and and maybe be a little bit more self-aware about like why they're doing what they're doing and stuff like that. And it's I think it's a really interesting element to this movie.
Hmm. Yeah, because he does revenge in like, I don't know if I would say like the nicest way possible, but like a ton of effort into doing something like very special
Mm-hmm.
for that person, and that's the revenge, which is just, thank God. That's so much better than Nick Cage just pummeling the man's face,
There's a,
screaming, "Where's my pig?" You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean we've seen that before. Like we've seen Cage, unhinged Cage, going on, a violent rampage of revenge, and that's fine. I think there's a place for that too. But this was refreshing because it was just different. Like when do you see someone like essentially getting revenge on someone through positivity?
Yeah.
Causing them to like remember who they once were, and like the fact that like making them realize that they lost sight of who they are, and all of this stuff. And I found the whole thing to be very refreshing, and I was quite enamored with this movie.
Yeah. I was surprised. I enjoyed it. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as you did, but there were certainly those aspects of it that we discussed. I thoroughly enjoyed those, and I found them very, very interesting. Just some of the silliness
The
I could
bike.
have done.
I thought when he stole the
Yeah,
bike. Oh my
I
god.
did. I did enjoy that. Especially later, and he's just like, I have a bike.
I could have used more of that, honestly, because while I do think that the film is sort of aware of how it's a little bit odd, I think that maybe it could have leaned into that a little bit more, maybe given us a little bit more insight into like this ridiculous, I don't even want to call it a black market food thing, just like the whole rival dealers and all of that stuff. Like maybe lean into the silliness a little bit more. I think that might have been difficult to sort of balance that because it is a very emotionally charged movie and it deals with a lot of really heavy subject matter. I mean, essentially the whole thing is about like loss and grief and dealing with these subjects, and so it's not a happy movie overall, but there's just like these little glimmers in it. And I think maybe I could have used a little bit more of that.
But yeah, it was definitely a surprise, I will say.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
I
it.
was not expecting this movie to be that good, honestly. And secondly, I wasn't expecting it to pack that emotional punch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You read that, like, I've heard about this movie from like 2 years ago or something like that, where it's like, oh yeah, Nicolas Cage is going to try and find his truffle pig. Can't wait for that one. I am not expecting that to have like any poignancy to it whatsoever.
I like the
That's
look too. I think it was well shot. I like the kind of everything about this movie feels very rustic. It has a very rustic vibe.
I could use two things. One is subtitles. For the love of fucking God. I hate that new thing with movies. Like everyone just mumbles, talks very quietly. There's no subtitles. This movie also does suffer from the whole, someone says something and
I
no one says anything for like 6 seconds.
There's this one scene where he goes to see this, I guess it's his old restaurant, and there's a baker there, and I guess she used to work for him or something, and they have this conversation, and that whole conversation I was like, oh boy, Kevin's not gonna like this interaction because it is frustrating.
Yeah, I just, it irritates me because people are not like this. I mean, maybe they are, but I've never come in contact with people that act
people like that.
And it's really annoying. But second, I was more irritated with that because I have no idea what was said in that entire scene. I have no idea. I have nothing. I don't know who that person is. I'm gleaning from like context that I imagine that she like used to bake at his restaurant. Maybe I have no idea. Like I don't. Just that whole entire section of the movie, I have no idea what happens because I can't hear anything, and people refuse to put subtitles.
That's funny. All right, let's go ahead and give Pig a score. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, straight up.
Straight up, I'm gonna give it like 6.5, maybe a 7. I don't know. I feel like it's an incomplete rating because large chunks of this, I have no idea what anyone said.
I didn't really have a hard time with it as far as hearing it, but
because you don't have my ears. Like my ears are not good. They're not good.
My ears don't work good.
They don't, and that's what I mean. Like it sucks because I had this movie jacked up all volumes as high as it could go. There's nothing else I can do, and I still couldn't hear it.
That's rough.
I couldn't make it out.
I mean, that happens sometimes for me with certain things, but all right. So Pig is in limited release right now. I'm not sure like what the VOD schedule is for that, but hopefully it'll be on VOD platforms soon and you can check it out. Let's talk about some of what I've been watching. I saw The Tomorrow War on Amazon Prime. This is the sci-fi action movie with Chris Pratt. It's garbage. I don't know why. Like, I saw some people on Twitter talking about this and saying that they were having a lot of fun with it. So I was, from the trailer, I was like, oh, this looks really bad. But I saw some positive chatter on Twitter, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give this a look. Didn't really have anything else to watch, so I watched it, and it's bad. It is not a good movie at all.
Mm.
I did not enjoy myself. I will say, the creature design is very good. That is a good thing. There are some fun action set pieces in it, to be sure, but the overall like script, the story, the dialogue, it's just all very very mediocre. I like that Sam Richardson is in this and is he's in kind of like an action role, but he's still really
Yes.
funny. So
Yes.
I was all in it for Sam Richardson and Betty Gilpin. I like her a lot, and I wish she was in this more, but unfortunately, she's not.
Unfortunate. But that's what you get with Chris Pratt. I can't believe Chris Pratt is like a leading man. Like, I,
Yeah,
man, you talk about this uncharismatic, like no personality whatsoever. Oh my goodness. Like calling him a manila folder is a compliment. Oh.
I don't have a
Uh,
yeah. I don't really have a problem with him. I don't. I guess
it's just
I
weird.
guess like I guess I would prefer him in like more like a Guardians of the Galaxy, like a comedic type role.
Yeah, that's I should clarify that it's more that
Yeah.
because I enjoyed him on Parks and Rec. Like I think that he plays that character really well.
Mm-hmm.
But as like a straight laced, serious like leading man, no, goodness,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not. The only other thing I saw was Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
Nice.
This was recently put on Hulu. You can watch it for free on Hulu. So, of course, I jumped at that opportunity. I need some stupid comedy in my life.
Oh yeah.
And it delivered on that. It is dumb as hell. And I'm so thankful for how dumb it is. And it just continues being dumb for the entire runtime. And I just appreciated it so much. And like, there's some musical numbers in this, and I fucking loved them. That song about the seagull.
That's the biggest surprise, dude. The musical numbers. That's the biggest surprise of this movie, and it was so good.
Especially the seagull one. I was actually like, I like this song. I genuinely like this song.
Jamie
Like
Dornan and the Seagulls.
yeah. I'm like, if you put that on my phone, I would listen to it at work, without a doubt. I mean, just the what was it, Talking Club? It's just dumb as hell, and I love it. Hot Dog Soup. I mean, just so many aspects of this movie are just fucking ridiculous, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good time. Just a good time.
It's way weirder than I expected. Like
Yeah.
they get really kind of absurd with it at times, and that was kind of a surprise.
But I also really enjoyed this because they really capture this kind of like small town, this white woman being afraid of like anything like outside of their small town.
Mhm.
Like I worked with a woman like this where like every city's just like if you tell her that you're going to a city, she just assumes that you're going to be mugged. And I'm talking like it could be Lancaster. Like they like and even like a little tiny city, you're just going to be mugged or murdered. You're going to see a knife in your face at some point in time. So I did like how there was so much concern on their part about them going to Vista Del Mar, for Christ's sake.
There has to be a sequel. I demand a sequel. I want them to go like to Europe or something. I want them to go abroad. It just has to happen.
They got to go somewhere, and it's got to be even dumber.
It
has to be dumber.
Or if they like went on a cruise or something. I don't know. That might be too similar than to of a location to this one.
Yeah.
But oh my god, they just I need more Barb and Star in my life.
They're great characters, and they have great They have great comedic chemistry together. The way they play off each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I could just them hanging out. Like you don't really even need a plot. It's just them planning out their day. It's just like going on a normal vacation. I would enjoy watching that.
Yep. All right. Yeah, that's on Hulu, so definitely check it out there. The only other one that I saw was Gunpowder Milkshake. This is on Netflix, directed by Navat Papashado. It's the guy who did Big Bad Wolves.
Very interested to see how this worked for you.
It did not work for me.
Oh, no.
Not even in the slightest bit.
No.
It is horrible.
Really?
I was kind of wondering because there wasn't a big marketing push behind this, and they dropped it on a Thursday. I think it was like a Wednesday or Thursday, so it definitely didn't seem like it was that Netflix was really trying to pump it, which seemed a little bit like a red flag for me, considering the people who are in this. I mean, you have some really big names in this, and I was kind of questioning it going into it, and what you're left with is the super derivative John Wick style action movie that is just like unoriginal and not very exciting. I mean, there's some cool action in it, there's some cool aspects to it. I mean, the fact that you have so like the whole thing with this, you know, in John Wick, you have that like that hotel. The equivalent in this movie is a library, and you have these three librarians played by Carla Gugino, Michelle Yeoh, and Angela Bassett. And they're like these badass librarians who all the books have like guns and knives and like gold bars and stuff in them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool. And we do get to see those three kick some ass, which I liked. Angela Bassett wields dual hammers and just hammers people to death. Michelle Yeoh has this like giant chain, and she's like whipping people with it and choking them out and stuff. So there's some cool stuff here, but it's just the dialogue is atrocious. Like the script is not good. It feels very not only just John Wick, but like very Tarantino-esque, and not in a good way. The visuals are very extreme. Everything looks like a very stylized set, and everything is neon. So there's like this, everything is like pink and purple and blue, and the style didn't necessarily work for me either, because that all felt tired and kind of dated. Yeah, it's just not good, man. I can't recommend it.
Well,
and I'm really disappointed. Like, I like everybody involved in this. Paul Giamatti's in it. He's awesome. Just, he doesn't really have anything to do in this movie, but yeah, it just sucks. I like Karen Gillan too. I like everybody.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of interested in this movie. But
yeah, you would not like it. Don't watch it.
I'm never going to watch it.
Yeah.
In my life.
All right, let's take a look at what we have coming out in theaters this week. We got Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins. Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
You excited for this one?
I forgot that this was happening.
It's definitely happening. It is a thing. It's happening.
Snake Eyes. Wow.
Who directed this? This is directed by Robert Schwenke. Okay. So he's the guy who did Red and R.I.P.D. and the Divergent movies.
The Time Traveler's Wife.
Yeah, Time Traveler's Wife. Classic. I mean, this is one that I will not see in the theater, but I'll probably... Well, I guess I will. If it gets good reviews, maybe I'll give it a look in the theater. But it's like 99% sure it's not going to get good reviews. Oh my god, dude, it's 2 hours long too. 2 hour long. Well, the funny thing is, you know, Snake Eyes, the character, A, wears a helmet the whole time, and B, doesn't talk. So, and it looks like this guy is never wearing a helmet and always talking.
This is how it comes to that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? This
yeah.
is going to show
At the end.
what was it? What was it in his life that made him decide to wear a helmet and never talk again?
Yeah, yeah. At the end of it, it's gonna be. Yeah. I do like that Samara Weaving is playing Scarlet. I think that's cool.
Not cool enough for 2 hours of my time.
No, no, no. Certainly not. Also in theaters, we have Old. This is the new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh yeah,
I'll check this out.
yeah, definitely.
I think it looks like it could be cool. I'm not. I'm not necessarily an M. Night Shyamalan apologist, but I do think that he's had some good stuff. Like I thought The Visit was pretty good.
I enjoyed The Visit, except for the rapping.
Mm-hmm.
It was an odd choice and
Agree.
just completely unnecessary. Uh, but the thing with M. Night is, I feel like for me, his movies always seem interesting. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
always intrigued. Now, whether they work out or not, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
But I'm always interested.
Yep. Those are the big ones in theaters. On VOD this week, we have on the 20th, Room 9. We have, and then on the Room 9 is a horror movie from the looks of it. On the 21st, we have Troll Hunters Rise of the Titans. That's on Netflix, animated film. On the 23rd, we have Mandibles. This is the new Quentin Dupieux flick.
Yes.
I imagine this is the one that we'll be covering next week.
Please.
Well, it's a pretty wacky movie. We got Mama Weed, which looks like it could be pretty good. Isabelle Huppert. Bankrolled is going to be on Netflix. Looks not great. The Last Letter from Your Lover is also going to be on Netflix. Midnight in the Switchgrass is also coming out. That's with Megan Fox and Emil Hirsch, Lucas Haas. Jolt is going to be on Amazon Prime. It looks like a action movie with Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Settlers is going to be out. That's an IFC one. This is a sci-fi thriller. This looks good. I'm interested in this. I'm going to check this one out. It's with Brooklyn Prince, Sophia Boutella, Johnny Lee Miller, and it's about it's these settlers on Mars, and some shit goes down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be checking that one out. On Blu-ray this week, we have The Wraith from 1986. This is a collector series. I would absolutely recommend checking this out. I just saw this movie not too long ago for the first time. It's with Charlie Sheen, Nick Cassavetes. Really fun 80s campy movie.
All right.
Looks like they're re-releasing the old G.I. Joe movies, the live action ones.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, you got to take advantage of Snake Eyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hitting theaters, Snake Eyes.
I guess they think that everybody forgot that the G.I. Joe movies are garbage. Dead and Buried is coming out on 4K.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Blue Underground is releasing that.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Eight-Legged Freaks from 2002 is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Probably wouldn't recommend that. Spiral from the Book of Saw is coming out. That's the new one. Little Big League from 1994. That's going to be one of the Shout Selects. I really like the movies that they choose for that label. Let's see what else we have here. A Stranger is Watching from 1982. Siege from 1983. The Go-Go Boys. The inside story of Canon Films is coming out. That's a really good doc about Canon Films. MVD is putting that out. Skinned Deep from 2004. Let's see. There's like 5 editions of Spiral that are coming out too. There's like a steel book. There's a whatever thing. It's ridiculous. Sniper from 1993 getting a new Blu-ray release. Jacob's Wife from earlier this year is coming out. If you have Shudder, you could check it out on Shudder though. I'd probably recommend that. Looks like they're re-releasing all the Saw movies for like the 8th time.
Mm-hmm.
Initiation from earlier this year. Held. Boondock Saints looks like it's getting a 20th anniversary edition. That's about it. What about Criterion's?
Oh, we got one. and that's the scene from 1969, Jacques Deray. This was, I'm pretty sure this is the movie that was later remade as The Swimming Pool, which I did see. I didn't see the original. I didn't see this one. I did see The Swimming Pool. But this is a new 4K digital transfer.
Oh boy.
With all, yeah. Watch out now.
All right, cool. I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @filmpulsenet and @filmpulsekevin. And if you have a minute, consider reviewing us on iTunes. We'd appreciate that very much. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.